So welcome to our Cumorah Connect 2025. It's so good to have some mentors, interns, friends, volunteers all together here. And everybody that's also online around the world, you're more than welcome to join us today. And in today's presentation or event, we're going to talk a little bit about the story of Cumorah Academy. For those that don't know personally, I am the Community Relationship Coordinator here at Cumorah, but I also was a student. And so I love Cumorah, and I'm so grateful for everybody being part of Cumorah and everything you've been doing in your lives. And so we hope that today you can have a little bit of the vision of the things that we have been doing together, because Cumorah don't exist without you guys. And also to see where we're going and other lives that we're trying to touch. So I'm happy to introduce our first speaker, that will be Cumorah Connect. She's our amazing COO that makes Cumorah look like it is as well. So please, a round of applause for Cumorah.
Hello everyone, welcome to Cumorah Connect 2025. Like Talia said, I'm Camila Fulmer, I'm the COO of Cumorah Academy. I have the privilege to work directly with Patrick and everybody else in Cumorah. And you might not know me, but I know of you, and I know some of you in person, but I can tell that I've read all your testimonials in the blog, all the videos, all the messages, and more than that, all the impact, your message, the time you spent at Cumorah, what that brought to the lives of our students. So I'm just very grateful to have each and every one of you here to celebrate with us and to be together. Sometimes we only get to know some of you through Zoom calls. So in person is just so different, and it's so good, and that's why we're so happy to be all together here. So I'm gonna share some data and some things we've done and accomplished, like Talia said, together, because that's Cumorah. We don't do anything on our own. It takes a village, and that's what we are, is what we're doing here. So we know, if you know Patrick, you know the existence of Cumorah, how everything happened, how he had the prompt with Elise to create Cumorah Academy. You know probably the reason why Czech Republic. But the number we see here, it's way bigger than only Czech Republic students, right? We were able to have over 50 countries represented on campus, and sometimes in one single semester we see 20 countries. So it is very impressive to see that 560 students so far were able to benefit from Cumorah Academy and get to know other people from all the parts of the world at Cumorah. So I'm going to present some highlights from the past 4 to 5 years that Cumorah exists. Of course, it was created even before that, in the heart of Patrick and some pilot programs, but we're going to be talking since 2021. So we know that everything started in 2021 with short summer programs in Albania, Ukraine, and the Czech Republic, but the very first full semester was in the fall. Elder Kopeshki visits campus that year, and that makes 2021 the starting point of Cumorah Academy, and everything comes from this first year on. 2022 was a big year for Cumorah, many accomplishments, especially considering that we started in 2021. So campus welcomes 100 Ukrainian refugees during the winter semester at the beginning of the war in Ukraine. That was super special to be able to be there for them. We implemented the advisory couple role on campus, and we know we have here some amazing advisory couples that have been with us. We also implement an intern on campus, and we have many interns here as well. We're so grateful for all the volunteer work from both of these roles that we have at Cumorah. The area president, Elder Massimo De Feo and Elder Carl B. Cook, also visited campus. Elder Elio visits campus as well. Elder David A. Badner does a special fireside for Cumorah Academy students in Vienna. That was amazing, super remarkable. And we love thinking about 2022 with this huge development since in 1 year, consider the year before was still starting. So 2023, we implemented the campus managing director role, which is the position that a couple stays with us for a full year. We started staffing agency. Cumorah Academy students volunteered at a Special Olympics in Germany. And we implemented the coding and sales program at Cumorah Academy. Some students, 12 to be exact, they visited General Conference as part of the Cumorah Academy Ambassador Program. So the good performance of the students allowed them to come and be here in Utah for 10 days and go to General Conference and interact with many people, even mentors, during this opportunity. And we also implemented student leadership internship roles, which we call SLIs. So 2024, more students from Latin America than from Europe. That's a plot twist, right? Because the whole idea was mostly for people in Czech Republic and Europe in general. But I guess after we started having some people from Latin America, they went back, they reported. They said, they're doing good, you should go. And that's happening, and we have a waiting list of people from Latin America wanting to come. And of course, we also have some limitations because of visa, and depending on the countries that they come from, we would have even more if it wasn't for that. And we also we expanded the board of directors. Elder Gerard visits campus. We created the marketing team. The alumni reunion in Brazil happened. Full-time missionaries assigned to be at Cumorah Academy, full-time. And formalized alumni association, which connects all the past students. And here we are, 2025. Patrick will go into details about some of these topics, but I'm just going to mention them for now. So we implemented a new entrepreneurship curriculum donated by Scott Peterson. Some of you might know him. We piloted the Founders for Futures program. You know more about that. We increased the number of students from the US and Canada on campus. We launched Hype, and the staff agency becomes profitable. So these are the highlights from since Cumorah started. You know, most of you probably, aside from some friends that are visiting, what Cumorah Academy is, what we teach. But I wanted to show you what we currently are teaching and what our curriculum is, in case you've been there before or you're not aware of currently what we're teaching. Of course, leadership and personal development, that's our core, but also English certification in business entrepreneurship, sales boot camp, and also the opportunity to do work study, work focus, and also online studies. And we have a lot of opportunity to collaborate with BYU Pathway, having students on campus doing both at the same time. So service projects, it's always something very special to us. Many of you, depending on which week of the semester you've been on campus, you probably participated on that as well. And it's very rewarding, it's very special. There are so many things that we want to achieve while having the service projects on campus, but for sure, it is part of our mission. It's what we want our students to go back home and continue doing it. So that's why we feel that's so important that they do that while they're on campus. We've done over 50 service projects with the local community since we started in 2021, and we really want for our students to develop empathy and leadership and teamwork and being able to multiply, to give back.
One of the greatest projects that we've witnessed here at Cumorah Academy is related to the biggest values that we are taught, that are cultivated, is being cultivated, and it's promoted by Cumorah Academy, which is service. So we are serving the community.
It was hard. Like I think most of the portfolio was hard and way of the church. So it was very cute. I think that it's also I think that they are very because of their faces, how they react, their activities.
Love this experience. It's an opportunity for me to grow personally and also to be able to see the world of eyes. And I want to say international relations. So these types of activities are really helping me feel good. And I love to help people and get to know them and have that connection. I'm extremely grateful for having these experiences in English conversations, such as the Coffee Hop Project or National. It has been an amazing journey, just being here with people from the Czech Republic and just teaching them about our cultures, learning about culture has been such an experience, and I would love to do this one day. At Cumorah Academy, we are trying to be a society and help their people, and we want to like him.
I love Sarah.
Helping people and stay connected with people in this area, and also students from Cumorah and people in Czech like get together. So it's a great nice.
Leaving the impact on the world is one way to describe Cumorah Academy's mission so well. It can be seen in the light of each student's face, in their eyes, in their smiles, and in the way that they conduct themselves, and overall in the work that they do.
This kind of project because it helps us to get to know more about how other people live their lives. We love to serve. We have fun with Sarah. We have a great time.
As a community of students, staff members, service is one of the greatest things that I learned. And we have many outreach projects in the Czech Republic. We are only 19, and we divided by groups to go serve to a variety of outreach projects to serve the community.
Okay, I apologize for the audio. Hopefully that's fixed. Next videos. Life vision is something that Patrick has always taught in his classes since 2021. But in 2022, when we had the advisory couple have a role at Cumorah Academy, this couple that comes every 3 months and stays for a full semester with the students is responsible to help the students to create their life vision, to help them to find what they want to include in this life vision and help them, guiding them and giving them resources to be able to accomplish that. And also when they leave and go back home, they also have tools and ways to put that into practice and to be able to achieve whatever they decided they want to achieve with their life vision. So that allows the students to gain understanding of that they want to achieve, who they want to become, and keep motivated and align with the purposes that they have decided, they thought about, and they're always improving while they're on campus. They're always rethinking the route until they feel confident that this is the direction they want to go. So the advisory couple plays such an important role, and we're so very grateful, and we're so happy that we implemented this role, because that for sure guides the students and help them to be able to move forward with more confidence. And the Accountability Challenge started in the beginning of 2024, and it has helped the students to accomplish their life vision, but more than that, be prepared in life, right, for many things: discipline, responsibility, consistency. We see them developing habits that stay consistent and understand that their actions impact not only their personal growth, but that greater community around them. So that's a challenge that they need to keep everything that they promise themselves they're going to do, and we help them to hold accountable and to make the progress. So hopefully that would be incorporated in their lives, and that will help the overall organization while on campus, but also achieving their life vision in the future. So we also think that it's important to share with you, for those who don't know, what the Accountability Challenge is, that we're trying to put them in a place where they can really leave Cumorah and say, okay, I got this. I know how I have the tools and the resources to hold myself accountable, which is probably one of the most difficult things in life with everything that happens around us. So here's some numbers that you helped us to get to this point, and we're very proud of what we're seeing. But again, there's no way that would happen without you. So that's why I felt it was very important to bring this data of the most recent semesters we had. So that represents our full last year. And we see that over 90%, including 96.55%, they graduated with advanced skills in leadership. So that we're very proud of this number, considering that leadership is what the mentors teach. That's thanks to you. 100% and 92.5% in winter semester. All the business that were launched on campus, they were 100% or pretty close to that revenue generating businesses. So they left campus making profit, making money out of their own business that most of the times they start the day one at Cumorah. And we're talking 3 months. So amazing numbers, amazing results. And over 80%, reaching to 91% of the students found better jobs or found jobs in general, and average of 80% of increase in pay of what they're making before they joined Cumorah. So again, we're very, very proud of this data and very happy for students, because that's actually, it's beautiful to bring the data, but it's even happier for us to know that this is their reality. They're being able to provide for themselves, for their families, give back to the community, because they feel that they can, and they feel confident, and they have a life vision, and they're holding themselves accountable to be able to get here. Probably this is one of our favorite data to show, which is faith, emotional hope, and growth. And this is data for one semester, but every semester we have this entry survey, an access survey, where they tell us how they feel about many things we ask them. And then we have 93.3% told us that they finished the semester with high faith. So that's very significant. 64.7, high emotion resilience, considering that they entered with 38.8, and 84.8 high hopefulness, considering that they entered with 67.4%. So this is the result of teamwork, and we're very, very happy to see this repeating every semester. Of course, the semesters change, the mentors change, the students are different, but our average from the past, since we started doing the surveys years ago, this has kept very consistent. And you might be wondering, okay, great. All of this is when they leave, right? But then what? Where are they? What are they doing? Are they really holding themselves accountable? Are they really applying leadership? Are they running their businesses? What happened to those students? I know that some or many of you keep in touch with them, and we love that so much. We hear from the students, oh, I saw this mentor, I talked to them, I sent them a message. This means the world for them, just so you know. But we wanted to show something.
With
I'm crying for all of you. In case you're not, I am always get emotional, and I think this is probably one of the best results, right? To see what they decided to do with their lives and to follow up and know where they are. So this is our current data for what happened with the lives of our students, now alumni. So we had 20 weddings since it started. We have currently 11 engagements. We had 16 Cumorah babies, so we love that. That's so fun. 12 baptisms and 31 mission calls. So out of all the data we have, I think that's the most special one. And I'm very grateful, and now it's right, I get emotional again, to be part of this cause, to even being on campus all the time, every day, like many of you have been for weeks, months, years. It's just so special to know that you were working towards this, right? And I feel very blessed to have this opportunity and to work with Cumorah Academy, knowing that this is a team effort, and we're so very grateful for your time and your love and your dedication and everything you put in pause to be able to be with us. And I think if this helps you to go back in memory and close your eyes and remember the time that you've been at Cumorah, we hope that's what we want. We want to accomplish our mission, and here tonight is to have you just visit that campus for a minute and know how much our students are grateful for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Camilla. She was crying. I'm not a great big crier, but I was getting emotional as well. I'm so thankful for being part of that. So, and as alumni and now Cumorah employee, I can see this impact really close, and then feel that in my life as well. But we have here some special speakers. They also going to share with us the experience they had and how Cumorah was affect their life. So I will invite here some of your alumni and mentors to share with us. We start with João, and then Alex, Parker, Anastasia, and our amazing mentors, Brian and Lorraine Siri. So João, the time is yours.
Hi. Hi. Very happy to be here tonight. It's very exciting I know them over there. It feels like, I know that many of you had the experience of coming home from a mission and you get to meet loved ones. This feels like that. It's really great. I used to have long hair. My name is João Banks. I was initially I was a student at Cumorah Academy back in 2022 for the beautiful spring in the Czech Republic. Absolutely gorgeous out there. Just scenery is beautiful. And then I was there once again because I just loved it very much. I was looking for an opportunity to get right back on the boat. So I went back for the winter in 2025. And at that time, I was a student leader intern, and I was able to work with the students. Well, if you've ever been to Cumorah Academy, over there in the common room where everybody eats their meals together, there's a pool table to the side, and then there's this adjacent tiny little room on the side that's super sophisticated. It's the Cumorah Library. And There's lots of wonderful books there that I'm sure were very thoughtfully selected. And one of them happened to be As a Men Thinketh. It's a tiny little essay written by James Allen. I had never seen it before until I made it there to Cumorah Academy in the spring of 2022. And I got to read that book. And as a man, I thought that I knew things. And I thought that I had a pretty sure foundation for my life and what I wanted to do, things that I wanted to achieve in my life. But I couldn't look past the predicaments of life. I'm Brazilian. I was born and raised in southern Brazil from a wonderful family. But unfortunately, because of life's conditions and social disparities, sometimes it's really hard to look past the obstacles in your life and truly believe in your dreams. And it was the opportunity to be there at Cumorah Academy that I discovered that institution is truly a pinnacle of not only faith, but I believe it is the very consummation of hope for people around the world that have so much potential, but they might not be able to see past the difficulties of life. And the beautiful act of those that made this institution possible allowed us to interact with those that have the expertise and knowledge to understand the potential that we have within us and to work to become the best version of ourselves. And I'm here right now. I go to BYU, Idaho, which is pretty fun, and I'm pursuing a degree in computer science. Most of that happened because of the things that I was taught there. Cumorah Academy, never thought it was possible. I mean, I had no money. I was pretty broke. Still am. But now I'm broke while pursuing a degree. So it's pretty fun. Ooh, and I cut my hair. And to conclude, I just wanted to say that as it's been stated, I'd like to reaffirm Cumorah's mission. If I remember correctly, as we learned, and we repeat each semester, becomes sort of our mantra. We know that Cumorah is there to assist individuals in their desire to follow Jesus Christ. And Cumorah positively impacts our lives, our families, our careers, our communities. And I'm certainly a proof of that. And I hope that that transformation will be a catalyst for many more to come for us here and for our future generations. For a lot of positivity to be replicated throughout time and eternity here while we're on earth. Let's go, Cumorah together.
I don't know this guy actually, but he looks pretty familiar, right? Hi guys. Oh, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alex. I'm Ukrainian. I'm from Ukraine. It's so nice to see you here. You look beautiful. Yeah, I'm here to share with you my story. I went to Cumorah Academy in January 2022 as a business student. I had a digital marketing company back in Ukraine, running myself, and I had another business. It was, let's say, cafe chain with some restricted beverages and bakery. And yeah, I was pretty successful actually. I liked it, I enjoyed the life. So I decided to develop my business. That's why I went to the Cumorah Academy, right? And I guess you all know what happened in 2022. Let's not focus on this. I should say that I lost everything in one day. Yeah. But now, 3 years later, I'm standing here right in front of you, and Joe said that I have a nice suit. I guess you should have mentioned my glasses too, but whatever. I guess something happened in between, right? Back in 2022, when I lost everything, I was lost and I gave up. Now, work for number 4 credit union in the United States. So what happened? What was in between, right? You'll know, right? It's Cumorah Academy, of course. Is it a university? No. Is it a college? No. Is it a school? Yeah. But can you get a degree or, I don't know, bachelor's? Probably not, but what's exactly going on in Cumorah Academy, right? If you cannot get a degree, right, what can you get? Everything. Cumorah Academy teaches you everything that you cannot be taught in university or college or whatever else, right? It changes your mind. It changes the way you think, your mindset. It shows you dozens of opportunities, dozens of ways you can walk by. And it helps you to walk those paths, not on your own, but with the Lord, with a friend. You're not alone, basically. The work that Cumorah Academy does for young adults, for example, it's something incredible. I don't know any of schools in the world that does something like this. You all know what happened, right? I just told you. And what changed? What has changed? Basically everything. I thought that, no, I'm not gonna do it. But with all of those people who work for Cumorah Academy, everything is possible. They show you the way, they show you that everything is possible, they will walk you through this way, and they give you a ticket to the light. That's what Cumorah Academy does for everyone, for every single student. So I found a Lord, or He found me, I don't know. I found a love, and I got loved. And finally, I'm not saying that I won this life, I win this life, but something has changed, and you can see this. Thank you, guys.
I'm just tickled to be here. I'm Parker, and I was a student at Cumorah just this last winter semester. And I think I gained two very valuable things during my time there. The first was a love of the thing I feared the most. And the second was invaluable skills and an understanding of the world that I never had before. So, back at the beginning of Cumorah, I enrolled in the business program. And I didn't know this, but they expected you to start a business. So I showed up and they said, "You're starting a business, right?" And I said, "Yeah, we're starting a business. It's going to be great." And so I did, and I had this great business idea, and I went and I worked on it and I worked on it. And about 6 weeks in, I realized, your business plan isn't going to work. My business plan was a flop. No one wanted my product. So I had to have the courage to fail. And I had to admit that this is a terrible idea. I've been holding on to it. I knew I should have quit 3 weeks before. But I had to throw it away and start again. And I did. And I had this other business idea. I was like, this is great. And I went and worked on it. And I realized it was a flop. Again. So I said, okay, well, I learned fast, and I'm going to just do it again. So I started my third idea. And I said, this is it. This is what my customers want. And again, I found that they didn't want it at all. They were not at all interested. But during that time, that same group of people came to me and they said, well, we'd be interested in this. And I realized I could do that. And so I formed a business off of it. And I learned during that time that failure is a blessing. It's something I was afraid of, but it's truly something joyous to experience. I know that can be strange.
And now the second thing I gained during my time in Cumorah was invaluable skills taught to me by mentors over the course of 12 weeks. During my second week at Cumorah, I got this little certificate of achievement. It was something someone printed out and put on my door. And they knew I liked America, so they wrote, "You're the best, America #1." And I took it and I put it in my room. I smiled at the time. And 12 weeks passed, or 10 weeks passed, and I got to the end of the semester. And I was packing up, and I'd gone through the awards, and you kind of have this feeling at the end of any program where, you know, high school, you're like, oh, I did it, but so what? And I pulled out that little card, that little certificate of achievement that I got for nothing. And I realized something in that moment, and that's the certificates that we have, the achievements we think we've got aren't what we've got. It's the talents that we've developed, and it's the ability to love and uplift others. And that's what I really did during those 12 weeks. I'm just so absolutely grateful for these experiences that Cumorah gave me, and the talents and skills that have allowed me to go out and bless and uplift the lives of those around me. In the time since Cumorah, I've had more gospel conversations with my friends. I've been able to build up those people around me in ways that I had never been able to in the past. And I'm truly grateful for that, and I want to thank everyone that's made it possible. Thank you.
Hi. Did you cry when you watched that video with the babies, engagements, and weddings? I did. I'm an emotional speaker. So I just want to introduce myself. My name is Anastasia. I'm from Ukraine, and I went to Cumorah in fall 2023. I'm currently kind of like taking a break from work, but I worked as an interpreter here for Ukrainians. I was helping refugees and immigrants here from Canada, United States, and United Kingdom. So I'm a little bit nervous. I kind of don't like this kind of performances. The public speaking at Cumorah was the worst for me. I did good, not bad, but it was the worst. Yeah. So I actually don't want to share a lot about my success in Korea today. I want to share about my success with my relationship with God because of Cumorah. Everything you heard today here and saw is all true, and I kind of like testify that that's all the truth. Cumorah Academy gave me a lot of skills, life skills, how to be a leader, how to find a job and stuff, the classes we took, but the most important, it gave me a very special relationship with God. I personally came to Cumorah to study English and leadership, but I received so much more. I just want to say that every student comes to Cumorah with personal struggles and pain they deal with, and I was not an exception. I had a lot of pain inside, and I had a lot of demons to fight in my head, I would say. And one of the trials I was going through at that point, my dad passed away, and I felt so empty, physically empty inside. It was a very hard time for me at that point. And I remember it was Sunday night, and they were doing Sunday night devotionals there. I was consciously avoiding missionaries, institutes, and any devotionals. That's true. That's true. And so I didn't want to go to the devotional, but I ended up going. And there was this mentor. His last name is Brickman. He was talking about God saving his life. He was stabbed, if I'm not mistaken, like 12 times in his house, and he almost died, and that experience helped him to meet God and like realize that he's his father. Like God revealed himself to him as his heavenly Father. And I remember I was listening, and he said, "God loves you. You are his beloved son and daughter." And at that moment, I heard a very soft voice in my head. I stopped listening to what he was saying because I heard God saying, "I love you. You're my daughter, and I'm going to take care of you." And then he paused, and I thought that was all. And he said, "And I'm going to take care of you better than your earthly parents did." My parents were good. It's nothing bad. It's just, everybody's childhood is different. And since then, it was like this. Everything has changed in my life, in my heart. I felt so much peace. I felt so much love from the Heavenly Father. And I just realized I actually have a father. Because I think I had a heartbreak because I thought I didn't. I thought I lost my father forever. And since then, my heart has changed, and I started seeing the world around differently, myself and others. I think maybe I started being kinder to people around me. So that's my personal story. It makes me cry every time I think about it. But I just want to say, to finalize, that I'm very grateful for Cumorah. I'm very grateful to everybody for what you're doing, because I know you're changing someone's life, for sure. And I'm grateful for Patrick, that he started Cumorah. And in addition to life skills, leadership skills, English, and budget management, family relations, everything we do that, I learned something very important. I learned to be happy, and I found my healing that I extremely needed at that time. Thank you.
Said, "Great, we got to go on after her." So we are Brian and Maureen Siri. We went to Cumorah in March of 2024, and as visiting mentors. And when we came home, we had people over to our home and made them sit down and watch our videos, our slides of our experience there. I tell people all the time, that's one of the top 10 things I've ever done in my whole life. And it just impacted us so much. So when we spoke to Patrick after we came home, I said, first of all, I want to be the campus directors whenever we get to retire. But second of all, how can we stay involved with Cumorah?
When Patrick asked us to be the visiting mentor coordinators, I first thought, okay, this will be great. We can stay involved, and I was looking forward to it. What I didn't realize was just how difficult that would be, because we find mentors, we prepare them, we send them off, and we don't get to go. Every week, we send people off, and we don't get to go. But we have loved being a part of Cumorah Academy, even after our mentor week, because you heard these marvelous students and their experiences, and we feel like in some small way we get to be a part of their success. So from our point of view, we're still in it, and we're part of the Cumorah family. And I think Patrick would probably be okay if we say, once you've been a visiting mentor, you are always part of the Cumorah family. And in fact, what we would invite you to do is just what we did. Find a way to continue to be involved with lots of different volunteer opportunities and lots of different ways to give back and connect with the students and be a part of something so special as this. So, thank you.
I think we've had the opportunity to listen to all our alumni and our mentors. I know that we live here as different people, but those 4, 6 people, they were able to touch my heart. I hope that you remember a little bit the feeling that you had when you participated and you're still part of our community. And as the series they were sharing, they are still involved with Cumorah Academy. And we have here many people that are volunteers that have helped us in making this possible, making this event possible. But I want to invite another person to share that with you, or Cami Stad. She's our event and community coordinator. So, Cami.
Okay, awesome. Before I start talking, I want everybody to stand up for just a second. I know these chairs are a little hard, so let's wiggle out. Don't look so tired, because it's also late in the day, so let's stretch for just a second. Do jumping jacks, turn in a circle, whatever works for you guys. After you guys are feeling a little more loose, you guys can sit back down again, and I'll tell you how to get involved, like the series did. Okay, awesome, thank you guys. And if you need to move seats or whatever, please feel free to do so. I get it, some of these chairs are very hard. So, we have some really awesome things happening. I know I used to work with previous visiting mentors. I would debrief you, I would prepare you, and one of the main questions I always got at the end was, how do we stay involved? Well, guess what? We have answers for that now. We have 3 new committees that we are building to help Cumorah Academy continue growing. And one of the best ways to stay involved with Cumorah Academy is to help us with these committees. We have our events, Founders for Futures, and hype committees. Patrick will go into more detail as to what each of these programs are. I'll just give you brief details about these committees. Events are going to be helping us with our events here in Utah, and sometimes events elsewhere, but primarily here, as we continue to grow and build our mentor, alumni, intern community here. And then we have our Founders for Futures Committee, which is going to help us with the building of Founders for Futures and our business program. And then our Hype Committee is a new brand for youth. So we're expanding into the youth program right now, and we want your help. We want you guys to be involved, we want you to be engaged, and we can't do this alone. You have seen from our campus that without you guys, it doesn't happen. So whether you're mentors, like visiting mentors, whether you're previous interns, whether you're alumni, we want you engaged in this. So if you're interested, please come talk to me, and we'll get you guys all involved in this. Thanks.
As Cami was talking, just thinking, I know that you guys might have great jobs, but I feel that I have the best job in the world. Really, I have to talk to the mentors and alumni every day. So if we didn't talk yet, just wait for my message that I'm gonna get there. But it's just, we had the opportunity just in this beginning of our event to listen, to see the impact that is already happening. Because you guys were involved. And others that are online and were not able to be here with us today, they're all involved. And this is part of something bigger than us. And I love this vision that Patrick and everybody were able to bring to Cumorah and also keep building that. So now I'm going to invite Patrick, our CEO, to share what is waiting for us now, what is coming next. So a round of applause for Patrick.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming. I really appreciate that you're here. And I just want to take this moment. We're glad that we could do this event here so that we can celebrate all of you, really. All of you who have helped make Cumorah Academy what it is. And we have had this evolution process over the last 4 years. And thank you, Camilla, for sharing that with us. And Before I go further into the presentation of what's coming next, the future of Cumorah Academy, I want to take a moment just to thank all of those who have been involved in creating this event here today. There's a lot more than just the people that you see here today that are involved in this. We have our marketing team that are working from Brazil and did a great job with creating the slides, the videos, putting all of that together, making it available so that we can be streaming it online and so forth. We have had so many people help in many ways. In fact, I want to point out one individual really quickly. Danny, can you stand up just for a second? Danny's one of our alumni. She's actually working for a gentleman named Andre Popa. I'll introduce him to you in just a moment. And they have been so gracious to bring a coupon for everybody for a free crispy cone. So there's an interesting connection here, multiple connections, okay? So Jeremy Carlson, who's the founder of Crispy Cones and was on Shark Tank, he was a missionary in the Czech Republic when I was living there with my family, and so we got to know each other really, really well. And so he started that business. We always use that business as an example when we're teaching our business students. And Andre Popa, who was actually one of our students in our pilot program back in 2015, 10 years ago. Almost exactly 10 years ago, Andre Popa graduated from our very first pilot program before it was even called Cumorah Academy. Back then it was called Royal Business Academy. And he went on to be extremely successful, and he has hired, I believe, 15, is that correct, Danny? 15 of our alumni, and he has purchased the franchise rights in Utah to Crispy Cones. So thanks to him, you guys will all get a coupon. It's not open yet, is what I understand, right? So October 10th, in about a month and a half, you get to go to Crispy Cones. You can be one of the first people.
It's the one in Provo.
The one in Provo, okay? Just to be clear. Awesome. And I just want to thank everybody who has been involved in making this event happen. I'm really, really, really happy with what has happened with Cumorah Academy over the last 4 years and the evolution that we've gone through. I tell sometimes I try not to tell them too much, but I do feel bad for the students that were there the first semester or the second semester. Because we've gotten so much better since then. And I can't even tell you how much the feedback that you as visiting mentors give every week when you come back. We get more feedback. And we just improve the program bit by bit after all of that feedback. In fact, in a couple of weeks, Camilla and I will be in the Czech Republic at Cumorah Academy, visiting with Ian and the team over there. Kelly's going to be there with us as well, as our Chief Learning Officer, and as our second advisory couple with his wife, and as our first Managing Director ever. Kelly will be joining us, and we will be reviewing all of the feedback collected over this last year from students, from team members, from volunteers, including all of you as visiting mentors. And we'll be reviewing all that together to make additional adjustments to the program so that it can just keep getting better. It's this iterative process that just makes it better and better. Our goal is to make the Cumorah Academy program more impactful for each and every young adult who attends, for each and every visiting mentor who attends, for each and every team member and volunteer and even donors. So with that, can I have a clicker? Awesome, thank you. So a year ago, when we did this annual update, we only did it over Zoom online, and there might have been a few of you there. I shared what our strategic plan included for Cumorah Academy, and it included two key areas of focus with some strategic objectives. The first one is to deepen the impact on every single young adult and to broaden the impact by making that reaching more people. And the second area of focus was to create sustainability, and not only sustainability, but scalability for Cumorah Academy. And so I want to go into that a little bit. Back then, a year ago, these were really mostly just ideas, and a lot has happened since then. So, in talking about deepening the impact, we have this ongoing improvement that we're working on that I just described to you. We're constantly evaluating and measuring and trying to see ways that we can improve so that we can deepen that impact on every student. We're trying to expand our reach, not only among our students, but in the community where we are. So when Camilla shared some of our service projects, we've had over 50 service projects in the last 4 years. And those impact the community around Cumorah Academy. Where before, when we first started, they were skeptical about who are these Americans coming here? Who are these Mormons or whatever, right? And now they love us. Every year we have this event for all of the kids from the neighboring villages, and they come and they experience all of these culturally enriching activities that they do on campus. So those are some of the things that we're doing here. I want to spend most of our time focusing on creating sustainability and scalability. And I know we're kind of short on time tonight, so I'm going to try to go through this pretty quickly. However, I want you to feel free to ask whatever questions you want, okay? So if you have a question at any point in this presentation, just raise your hand and we'll see if we can answer that question, okay? I'm going to have Aaliyah be my timekeeper. If we start going too long, then you just need to give me a kick or something, okay? All right. We good? Yeah. All right. So, first objective was we wanted to diversify how we could, our sources of revenue. Second, we wanted to create sustainability with alternate sources of revenue besides donations. Because when you just focus only on donations, that's not very scalable, is it? Long term, it doesn't seem like a really good strategy to me. And although donations are really important, they will always be part of how we operate Cumorah Academy. We don't want it to be the only way that we make this possible, because then our ability to scale will be very limited. And then the third one is to establish successional stability. And so last year we expanded our board of directors, and we'll continue to do that periodically over time and make sure that we have individuals in place that can carry the torch forward for many, many generations to come. The vision is that Cumorah Academy will be a strength to the rising generation throughout the world from generation to generation, hopefully indefinitely through the millennium. That's my goal. Is that pretty bold? Okay, so this is the vision in the next 15 years. I used to couch it this way: before I die, I hope I have 15 good years in me, okay? So in the next 15 years, we want to see 15 campuses worldwide, where each campus can have not 60 students, but 250 students each per semester, okay? We want it to be financially sustainable indefinitely, and have a leadership succession plan in place, and a financial model that will enable Cumorah Academy to continue growing. So let's go into a little bit of the details of how that works, okay? I liked, a lot of people, they show organization tree or organization charts of their companies or whatever as a pyramid, right? You usually have the CEO on top with, the executive team and the management team and so on and so forth. Kind of looks like a period. I don't like that model. I like the model of a fruit tree. Okay? So the fruit is what? It's these young adults that were standing up here before you this evening, and their lives being transformed. Okay? The branches, the major branches, would represent individual campuses eventually that we will have in multiple places. Right now, the first has one big branch, well, one little branch in the Czech Republic, okay? The trunk represents the corporate structure and organization, so the executive team, the board of directors, board of advisors, so on. okay? But all of that needs to be nourished by a strong set of roots, okay? And so we have a number of roots that are in plan and various stages of creation to create that root system that will ultimately nourish and feed that fruit tree. Obviously, we have donations. We have a staffing agency that we mentioned that was launched a couple of years ago. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. I left it called simply staffing agency because when this slide or this concept was presented first, we didn't even have a name for it. It was just a staffing agency. Well, guess what? We have a name for it, okay? So I want to talk about that for a moment. Our staffing agency is called Ziva. And the way it works is basically Ziva was created for two reasons. The first reason is I was on campus talking with students, talking about their job opportunities that they had, and I discovered that many of our students were working 2, sometimes 3 jobs. Many of them were working for $2 or $3 per hour. And my heart broke. And I told myself, we can do better than that. How do you raise a family? How can you be a bishop or a Relief Society president or a primary president working 2 or 3 jobs at $2 or $3 an hour? So the first reason why the staffing agency Ziva was created was to provide job opportunities working remotely for North American companies like in the US, Canada, or Western European companies, where they could make a more significant wage, and it could be a great stepping stone to future career opportunities. And that's the first reason why we created it. The second reason was because there is a model here. There are many staffing agencies that do similar things that are very profitable. So there's a model here where we could actually generate some profit that would then fund scholarships for students. Okay? We started this about 2.5 years ago, and today, out of the last 7 months, 5 months have been profitable. Overall, this year, Ziva has been profitable. We just brought on a client who is in the process of hiring 230 workers through Ziva. That will enable many young adults to attend Cumorah Academy every year. So I want to share with you a short little video from Andre Popa. I mentioned him as one of our very first students. He was in the first 20 students that have ever come to, well, it wasn't Cumorah Academy back then, it was Royal Business Academy, but you can hear from him.
Hi everyone, this is Andre from USA. I was a student 10 years ago in 2015 when Patrick first started this academy. 3 months program around Prague. Spectator for it was amazing. 10 years later, and now my own business, we hire hundreds of employees from sales, operations, inventory, supply chain to help our needs over here in the USA. Some of our jobs are done from home, remotely. So therefore, when I found out that Patrick is able to train and help people at Cumorah for 3 months, and then we, myself, other companies can hire those people to work for you. I was so intrigued. Present here today is actually my assistant, Danny, who is from Brazil. She's been working for me for 1.5 years now. She did graduate from Cumorah in the spring of last year. And after we hired her, we then hired, I think, 15 other people that are graduates from Cumorah. These people are not only honest and reliable, but they are sharp and hard work. And I'm super grateful to Patrick and for Cumorah for allowing me to get a hold of such quality people. Super grateful, thank you very much, thank you Cumorah, and I wish you a fantastic day.
I'm so sorry about the audio. Were you guys able to understand that? Okay, great. We can send the video out to all of you later if you want to just, if you weren't able to capture all of that and you'd like to rewatch it. We'll just go to the next slide, or do I need to do something? It's not clicking to the next slide. Oh. Okay. So now I want to focus just for a brief moment on the Alumni Association. So we formalized the Alumni Association sometime last year. And so I want to just share another video from the Fords, who are our Chief Communities Officer. They are the direct reports for Talia. And they just want to have a few words about the Alumni Association, what they're doing. Can you understand that? Okay, we'll skip this one. Russell and Samantha Ford are awesome. Okay.
We know they love us.
Sorry?
We know that they love us. It's okay.
Yes, we know that they love you. And so they are overseeing our Alumni Association as it starts to grow and evolve and get better and better. Okay, we're still in the very early stages of that Alumni Association. Yes?
Will these slides be available afterwards?
We can make them available, absolutely. Yep.
Without the echo.
Without the echo, yes. Okay. I want to take just a moment to talk about the BYU Management Society's Young Professional Career Engagement Program. So we've had some mentors who have come to campus who are part of the BYU Management Society and help run this program. And as a result, we've created a collaboration that we're actually really excited about and would like to announce here tonight. This is a really wonderful thing because as we expand our Alumni Association and improve how we can serve and help our alumni, this program can be an integral part of that. Because they already have this formalized structure where they provide mentors and coaches. There's two different roles there. A coach is somebody who's basically coaching through career decisions like, what should I study? How do I get there? What do I, that kind of thing. And then a mentor is somebody who actually is in the profession that the young adult is seeking to enter. Like if they're wanting to be an accountant, they'll look for somebody who's an accountant to pair up with that young adult to help them specifically along that path. Does that make sense? So there's those two roles. They already have this formalized process. They have a training process in place to make that happen. And the way it works is for young adults, they can go onto this website and they could select which area of the world they're from, and then they'll try to be paired with mentors and coaches from that area. Okay, so if they're from Brazil, they get paired with people from Brazil. If they're from the US, they'll get paired with people from the US. If they're from France, you get the picture, right? The really cool thing is that there's a new country that nobody has ever heard of before until now. It's called Cumorah Academy. So a young adult could go onto their website and enter that they are a Cumorah Academy alum or student. And as such, they can get paired with a mentor and a coach. Okay? And so I want to bring up Kimberly for just one moment. I know we're behind schedule. I'm going to cut you down to 1 minute.
I don't even have to take one.
So there's a microphone right there. So Kimberly will just share. Kimberly has agreed to be, as a volunteer, be the coordinator for Cumorah Academy country of YPCDP. Okay?
Yes, like you, I love Cumorah Academy, and I love the students. So it's just an easy leap to try to match them up with mentors and coaches. So I'm inviting each of you to go onto the website and register and help us to match them up with each one of you or someone. And maybe you may not be the one person, maybe you might know somebody else that could be the person. So I just invite you all to do that.
Thank you very much. So Kimberly is the one that will be coordinating all of that. Yes, you can clap for Kimberly. Thank you, Kelly. Just remember, when you go onto their website to register, you have to select the country of Cumorah Academy, okay? So otherwise, you'll get lost in a sea of mentors and coaches out there, okay? All right. Now, we talked about the tree analogy, okay, for the Cumorah Academy. But a tree is not a perfect analogy. Because if we're going to have 15 campuses, the ideal is that every single campus independently is sustainable. And so that is what we're trying to do. So a better analogy might be a strawberry plant, right? So as any of you who does gardening, you're familiar that strawberry plants, they'll send off these shoots, create a new strawberry plant which will have its own roots, and then you could sever that tie and it could function independently, okay? So that's what we're doing. We're creating a model where each campus of Cumorah Academy could be sustainable on its own. So to do that, one of the ways we do that is by having more American students come. American students will be paying actually the full tuition, okay? Or close to the full tuition. They won't get the scholarships that some of our other international students get. And that will help with the financial sustainability. But let me tell you, actually, the reason why it dawned on us that this is a critically important piece. Imagine for a moment, there's a lot of Brazilians here, right? Imagine for a moment we have a campus in Brazil. One of the beautiful things about Cumorah Academy is that English is the common language, right? So all of our students on average they advance a year's worth of English in just 3 months while they're on campus. Well, if you're in Brazil and you have 250 Brazilian students, what are the chances they're all going to speak English to each other all the time? Zero. Right? So we can't even get our team to speak English to each other. They try. But then I hear it's like they start speaking in Portuguese. I'm like, I don't understand what you're saying. So, in order to help English be the language so that they could learn English more rapidly, we need to have 25 to 30% of our students be from North America, native English speakers. Okay? So that is actually how that idea came to be in the first place. The other way that we're going to do is through business building expeditions. Why does it say summer? That shouldn't be in the summer. That's a mistake. And that's where we talk about Founders for Futures. Okay? Is that, I guess before we talk about Founders for Futures, we have materials. In fact, in your little bags, you have flyers. In fact, we have 10 flyers, I think, right? 10? Something like that. 5 or 10 flyers about Cumorah Academy that you could pass out to all of the people that you know that should be attending Cumorah Academy. Was it you're American? Did you get benefit out of Cumorah Academy, Parker?
A ton.
A ton, right? So nobody needs to have this worry of, oh, this is for other people from other countries. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? If it's good for somebody from Brazil or Peru or Czech Republic, it's great for people from America as well, okay? So you can pass those out to people that you know, in your wards, in your neighborhoods, your kids, your grandkids, your nieces and nephews, and so forth, okay? How are we doing on time? Do I need to go forward faster? I think, okay. I have 10 minutes? Okay. Founders for Futures is a brand new program that we're launching, and we piloted earlier this year. And basically, how many of you are familiar with HXP? Okay, so a number of you. HXP used to be called Humanitarian EFY. How many of you are familiar with EFY? Can you imagine what Humanitarian EFY would be? So it's like an EFY program for a couple of weeks, but what they do is they travel to usually third world countries and they do humanitarian work there, okay? So imagine marrying something like that together with Cumorah Academy's entrepreneurship program, okay? Now let me ask you a question. You don't have to answer out loud, but just ponder this for a second. What do you think could be one of the most impactful humanitarian projects you can do out there, period? I'll tell you the answer, in my opinion. Help someone start a business. Studies have shown, there's one study that shows that if you were to raise the level of entrepreneurship in the world globally by 10%, just 10% increase in entrepreneurship, that would generate enough revenue to solve all of the world's poverty. Think about that for a moment. There's a separate study that actually came to a very similar conclusion. They studied and they said, if you raise the entrepreneurship level in a country by 1%, you will effectively decrease the level of poverty by 2%. So you take a country, let's say Peru, where the poverty level is about 22%-ish, okay? And you increase the level of entrepreneurship by 10, 11%, you've wiped out poverty, okay? So what is the best entrepreneur, or the best humanitarian service you can do? If you ask me, the answer is help people learn to start businesses. And so that's what we're doing. So imagine your son, or grandson, or nephew, or niece, they join Founders for Futures. And what they do is they have the same entrepreneurship curriculum that our students have on campus. They are learning at the same time. So they're learning how to start a business. But the only difference is, instead of them, well, there's a few differences. They're not on campus, first of all. The second difference is that instead of working on creating their own business, they're working on helping a student on campus start their business. Does this make sense? And then what they do for 2 weeks, they fly to the Czech Republic and they roll up their sleeves and they dig in, and for 2 solid weeks, day in, day out, they're helping that student launch their business. That's what Founders for Futures is. And so that is information about that is also in the flyer that you have in your bag. So please review it. And I encourage people that you know to come join Founders for Futures. It'll make a massive difference. The help for the students will be tremendous. The learning that the person participating will get is tremendous, and the experience and the bond they'll create will be unforgettable. Okay, we're really running out of time. So, any questions about Founders for Futures? No. I can share just a 2-minute video real quick. Do we have time for it, or should I? No, we're going to skip the video because it sounds bad.
Hi, my name is Evan.
Evan, just that video you'll get when we send you out the presentation. Evan was one of our, the people that came to Founders for Futures for our very first pilot run. So he shares his experience there. So when you get the PowerPoint, you can look at that. Humanitarian experiences. We are doing our own version of HSP. Okay? So now we have a youth program. It's called HYPE, Humanitarian Youth Programs and Experiences. We are going on a trip to Peru, and yes, we are visiting Machu Picchu. That'll be fun, right? So we will be doing a humanitarian expedition there this coming summer, so in a year from now.
That also is partnered with our alumni. So our alumni and countries that we attend will be helping us out with that. So it's also partially an alumni program.
Isn't that cool? Okay. Again, there's a little bit of information in the flyer. You can read it. In the interest of time, I'm just going to keep moving forward. We have another video. It's true, we have all these great videos, and you just can't see them yet. So Tony Winder is one of our past visiting mentors who is helping us. She's overseeing the humanitarian aspect of HYPE. Peer-to-peer fundraising is something we've started and really focused on this last year. And so I just want to share with you, as far as creating sustainability for Cumorah Academy, our students, our incoming students, have helped raise over $100,000 in the last 12 months. And so they've raised this with people that they know. And sometimes it's others that live around them, board members, sometimes it's mission companions, sometimes it's mission leaders, or other missionaries that were in their missions with them. But it's a tremendous effort that has borne tremendous results for Cumorah Academy. Okay, so just in closing, I want to make an ask, okay? All of you here know about Cumorah Academy. All of you have felt, or almost all of you have felt, of the impact that Cumorah Academy has had. You've seen tonight the impact on just a handful of our students. And I ask that each of you get involved, okay? And I would love for each of you to get involved in 3 ways. First, support financially how you can. There's 3 ways we're looking for you to provide support. If you can sponsor a student scholarship, we have over 30 students coming in fall, this semester, in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, that are starting, for whom we're still looking for the funds for scholarships, okay? So if you can sponsor a student, please do that. If that's not in the realm of possibilities for you, you can sponsor a student by doing a fundraising campaign for them, where you donate what you can, and then you talk to some of your friends, family, neighbors, people you know, and invite them to donate. Share with them your experience of Cumorah Academy. Share with them the impact that it has had. And then you can help raise the funds for one student, okay? And now, sometimes that's not even possible. We have a visiting mentor who was a judge, and he shared with me that he is unable to do a fundraising campaign of any kind for anybody because of his professional code of ethics. And so, in that case, in cases like that, we just simply ask if you would make a recurring donation of whatever amount feels comfortable to you. When I see those recurring donations come in, it is just so heartwarming, it is so helpful, it is great to know that we could count on those funds month to month. It is just fantastic. So support us financially in whatever way you can. The second way we'd like you to get involved or support Cumorah Academy is by volunteering. Be on our events committee or our Founders for Futures committee or our Hype committee, okay? Or be a mentor or a coach through the YPCEP program, through the BYU Management Society. So please, get involved somehow. And then the last ask is that each of you share your contacts with us. All of you know people. You know people who could be volunteers. You know people who could be donors. You know people who could help in different various ways. So if you scan this QR code, it will take you to a simple form where you can check which ways you'd like to get involved. And once those forms are submitted to us, we'll be reaching out to you in the next 5 to 7 business days to follow up and just help you through that whole process and make it happen, make it super easy. Any questions? No? So while I'm going to take 3 minutes and I'm going to share with you a song. You can listen to this song. Hopefully it will be better than the other videos. And while you just go and scan that QR code and think through how you'd like to support Cumorah Academy.
And
By the way, all of the songs you heard here tonight are Cumorah songs. They've been produced by our very own Nina. Any of you who remember Nina Skurtu? So she's the producer. Yes, with the help of AI. Aren't they awesome? Yes. We will be coming out with our own Cumorah album. You'll be the recipients of that shortly. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Thank you for all that you've done for us in the past. And thank you for all of your continued support. We really, really appreciate it. And the young adults who benefit so much from it really appreciate it from the bottom of their hearts. Thank you. I'm going to turn the time over to Talia.
We're really grateful to have all of you here. I know it's a Thursday night, and having all guys gathered is just really special. And we are also grateful for everything you do, you have done, and you are willing to do. I know personally my life is better because a lot of you. And we want to keep in touch with you guys. See as well the amazing things that are happening in your lives. And because not just what we do, but also how we can be part of that. So we want to thank a round of applause of everyone here that is sharing a little bit of your story with us. And we want to thank to the Kim community to providing us with the drink, with the space, and as well as Patrick mentioned, Andre Popa shared with us and give us those coupons.
Make sure that you get one from Cami.
And if you don't have, you can get it with Cami. And we want to close this meeting just really with our gratitude. And I hope we can see each other soon. So thank you guys. Thank you for being here.